It's time for the LowcoSports Lowdown.
That's the grind music. It's a lowdown grind crossover. It's lowdown night. It's Monday night, but it is wrestling playoffs, and two Lowco teams are into the lower state finals in the South Carolina High School League duel. So we haven't had a grind in a while, so I figured it'd be cool to give it a grind treatment here at the Open. At least Justin, Jarrett, Wesker, and Marcus Walsh with you at the outset. Max Araj will be joining us in progress, and you never know who will stop by. We do know who's going to stop by tomorrow night, though. Alonzo Allen had posted, he decommitted from Erskine and said that he was going to announce his new commitment tomorrow on social media, I think tomorrow afternoon. And I said, yo, what do you say about announcing it live on Lowco instead? And he said, bet. So we're down for that tomorrow night, 9:30. Alonzo Allen will announce his commitment live on Lowco. So it should be cool, very cool. We've got not much going on in the hoop scene right now, but as we mentioned, it is wrestling night. May River and Bridges Prep both moving on to the lower state finals. May River with a 57-11 rout of Gilbert. I was racing to get there. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. I got an update 22-3 already. I was like, oh, okay, well, there's a lot of ways you can get to 22, but they've probably wrestled 5 matches, so I got time. By the time I got there, it was 40-3. They had 3 quick pins in a row.
Wow.
Yeah, and they kept pouring it on. So really good showing from Ashley Powell's crew. They're dominant. I've got some highlights if I can slap them together here later. We'll check them out. But yeah, they look really, really good going into the lower state finals. No East Side standing in the way this time. And then Bridges Prep with a really nice win. They were the 6th seed in the 2A, 1A bracket lower state, and they knocked off number 3 Bamberg at Bamberg on Saturday, which was a nice win. And then went to Edisto tonight and avenged the Canes that I took on the road for a slaughter. I took the Lambs to slaughter, first-year program, 1A school against a 2A power in Edisto. We wrestled our butts off, but couldn't win a match. I mean, we got skunked. We had a couple shots, but Bridges Prep, the Bucks avenged us. Hulk Hogan and the Bucks with the vengeful victory for us tonight, 42-38. It was Trevor Jones who flipped it with a big pin. I think at 138, I want to say. So that was the clincher, or not the clincher, but the momentum swing for them. So great night of wrestling. Battery Creek did fall tonight, but they knocked off somebody. They knocked off Keenan on the road on Saturday to make it to the lower state semis. So good showing all around. And John Paul II, of course, with the semifinal showing in the SCHISA duel. So wrestling on the rise in the Lowco, and it's certainly a big part of it is Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. You're getting a little taste of the grind tonight, but we will shift gears back to the lowdown. But how are you boys doing? I haven't let you get a word in edgewise yet.
Doing great, yeah. Had a busy, it's great to have so much going on because, it's getting to the point where crossover season is here. At least at the USCB level, we've had
it's here.
Softball get
Today
started.
was baseball and softball practice.
Yep, it is all the way here.
It's all the way here. Yeah, spring sports practice started today across South Carolina.
Right.
Doing very well. Was at the station again today, getting a bunch of prep work done. Not all of it, of course, but a bunch of prep work done for May River and Beaufort that Kevin and I will be at on Friday. We are going to have 2, 4, 6 games to call in the next 10 days.
Wow.
It's going to be blazing. I mean, it's going to be booming.
You're on that. You're on that professional schedule.
So yeah, Tuesday, or rather Friday this week, and then Tuesday and Thursday. It's looking like next week, and we may switch the schedule around a little bit, but those are the days, and we'll have games for you on WHHI. I'm going to be on Talk of the Town tomorrow to review what you and I saw, JJ, on Thursday, preview Friday, and talk a little bit more about what I'm looking forward to seeing out of 7-4A the rest of the way. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. So yeah, it's been a busy day, filled with a bunch of stuff with work and at home, but a good day and a good weekend to kind of recharge a little bit after a very busy end to last week for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a month of long days.
Yeah.
It's been busy, and my life just got busier because today I became a varsity softball coach. So, I mean,
Yes,
kind of
sir.
like I had two girls to work with today. We got girls playing basketball still. We got girls waiting on physicals. We've got girls who weren't at school today. We've got, this and that and the other. But I had two out there today, and one of them's a shortstop, and that's making my heart sing. And she's a shortstop. When I say she's a shortstop, I mean she can do it. Like, we're gonna be okay there, and that is the first thing that will break your heart is if you don't have a shortstop, man. You
Gotta
get
have a
ground
good
balls and you
solid
don't
middle
get
infield.
outs. Yeah, so we got a shortstop. We got to develop a pitcher, but I think I just signed my pitching coach in real time here, boys. Like,
Nice.
I think it just happened.
Very
So
nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've been saying I was a pitching coach away from being dangerous in 1A, and I think I just got dangerous. So it could be fun. But yeah, that made for a long day. I was up, up early, out at the Ville teaching all day.
Yeah.
Couldn't focus on anything for anything today because softball practice was after school. It was all I could think about. Felt great to get out in the sunshine, and it was a beautiful day in the low
Beautiful day.
country.
Yep.
Field
Gorgeous
was
day today.
beautiful. Got to hit a bunch of balls, buckets of ground balls, and taught a girl how to play catch today. Never touched a ball. Freshman, I said, "Girl, you look like a softball player. You should play." She said, "Okay." Came out today, didn't know
Love it.
which hand to put the glove on, and within about 10 minutes, she was playing catch from about 20 feet and looked like she'd been doing it for a while. So, it's just awesome to see, and had a huge smile on her face. It's awesome to
Yep.
see the
That's great.
kids realize, like, oh, I can do it if I just keep trying
Right.
for a little bit longer. So, I said, imagine how good you can get if you show up every day for 2 hours, like,
Yeah.
legit. So we're gonna have fun, man. I'm so excited.
Love that.
My life is full. But what do you guys want to get into first here? I mean, we kind of gave the synopsis of the
Yeah.
wrestling, so we can go a little deeper on that a little later in the show. But how about this busy weekend for USCB? We had a roaring Sand Shark
Yeah.
rewind last night because we
Crazy.
had all kinds of news. And Wes, you were at the ballpark a lot. I was out there a little bit Friday. That's where I met my baseball coach. I haven't announced that on the show yet. I announced it on Rewind last night, but our baseball coach was in the Ville today too, and yesterday, as a matter of fact, working on his field.
Nice.
Former Sand Shark, whose name has been uttered here many times because he threw the first no-hitter in USCB history, and then he went on to play for the Bananas and the Party Animals. Eamon Collins is
Yes.
entering the coaching ranks at Hardyville. So very excited about that. Now we haven't, HR's still got to clear all that, but as far as he's all systems go. So it's happening.
Yeah.
Everything's
I
happening in the
remember
Ville.
I remember watching Eamon when I went to see the Savannah Bananas the one time. I believe he was on that team. I think when I went there, it was like 2021 ish.
Hmm.
I the name
Real
definitely
quick, should Alex
rings
Hagan
a
get
bell.
hash browns or tots at the Huddle House? Coach Hagan,
Hmm.
celebratory. I mean, hash browns are kind of in vogue at the Huddle House, I would think, but it's hard to go wrong with tots.
I haven't been there, but I think I would favor the Tots.
Yeah, I mean, tots are hard to beat. Kind of
Yep.
depends if they got any kind of good dipping sauces for the tots,
Right.
or if it's just straight ketchup.
If
Like,
it
that's kind of
was
meh.
if it was something and home fries, I might go home fries. I tend to uh
I like hash browns,
favor
but they
home
better be
fries over
pretty
hash
cooked.
browns, but
I like them pretty crisp. Not totally crispy,
yeah,
but I like them good and
gotta
golden.
Yeah.
gotta
Sure.
have all those potato
I like a
things
little bit of
crispy.
crisp, a little crunch to them.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just a
No,
little bit.
nothing like a soft
Yes,
potato.
sir,
Don't
Coach Collins.
unless it's baked or mashed. Other than that, don't want it. It's got to have some texture to it. I'm with you, JJ. no doubt.
Yep. All right, we're on the
So
same
yeah, I would
page.
go with the tots.
All right, go with the tots. Hey,
Yeah.
Napoleon, give me some of your tots.
I was just gonna say, that's right.
It had to be
That's right.
said, right? It had to be said. You can't mention tots and not say Napoleon. Give me some
Yeah,
of your tots.
that's right.
That's a given.
You like those tots?
Yeah, so my brain's running on fumes tonight, boys. So I'll try to keep us on track as much as possible, but there may be some diversions. Dude, your own tots. Absolutely. Yeah. No way. Get your own tots. I do a decent Napoleon.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind of running on empty as well.
My uncle does the best of anybody
Oh,
that
yeah.
I know.
Yeah, Wes, you gassed. You called
I-
two
I
yesterday
I do remember
or Saturday.
Eamon,
yeah, I'm just
and what he was able to do on the field. So
yeah.
that's big news, JJ.
Yeah, man, he's excited too. He's really excited. It's a great fit. He played at a 1A school in Virginia that he said is very similar, area to the Low Country, and so he feels really comfortable in the environment and with the kids, and he just wants to make it fun. I mean, he wants to make baseball fun and make it fun to put in the work and get better, and the rest will take care of itself. So he's the right guy, and it was the universe lined it up, man. Like he and I both had to go to that miserable 29-3 game on Friday night to bump into each other. And he had to be sitting with Brian Meyer, who I jokingly have offered the job like 4 or 5 times. And I said, Meyer, last chance, man. You want to be the head coach at Hardyville? And Eamon was sitting 2 rows up and said, bro, this is exactly what we were just talking about. And the rest was history. So very
Awesome.
cool thing. But how you doing, Wes? How you doing, bud?
I'm hanging in there.
You look tired, yeah.
Been a busy
Just like
Monday,
me.
but yeah, it's going. It's going.
No doubt about
I'm
it.
just yeah, I'm excited for this week. We got 2 huge basketball games in the Cove. We got some meaningful high school games starting tomorrow when things really start to ramp up, and really impressed and excited for both these wrestling teams that advanced. May River, I think, has a real shot this year, and I think Bridges Prep is going to be a tough team to beat as well. But the Sharks really made a statement with how they handled Gilbert. That's a I think they are on the verge of doing something special. I think if they continue this play, I think they got a real shot 4A this year. This might be the year.
I think it is. I mean, they're really, 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 really loaded. Like really loaded. They got dudes for days.
Yeah.
And like not the injuries won't derail them because there's another man ready to step up. Like they're good to go, I think. I mean, the thing about wrestling though is anytime a duel is within like 12 points though, it's 2 matches to flip it.
Right.
That's it. 2 guys who should win get caught on their back and pinned, and it flips it. So, I mean, there's a decent chance for randomness anytime you have a fairly evenly matched wrestling duel. So, they just got to stay on top of it. They got to keep wrestling smart, and they were locked in tonight. There were a couple. They lost 3 matches. One of them they were just overmatched. The guy was just a hammer. The other 2, I think they could have gone either way. So they're stacked, they're loaded, and the Butler kid, Blake Butler, the 100, and I think he's down to 144 now, from Virginia. Holy cow, he's something else. They haven't missed a beat, man, and they lost some good kids off last year's team. They haven't missed a beat. It's unreal. That coaching staff is tremendous. And then Reverence gets a lot of credit too, because most of those kids are getting extra training over there, getting extra mat time on Wednesday nights, on Sundays, and it shows. They are animals. You got to get out there Wednesday. Oh man, it's Sand Sharks at home Wednesday. Dang it! It's too many good things on the
Yeah, I
same
know. It's
night.
that time of year. And that only continues to build when spring sports start. It's a crazy time. A lot going on, which is great. But then, unfortunately, you can't get everything at once. That's the unfortunate thing about it.
Yep.
Sure is, but I'm getting us together a few highlights here, so we can check out a little of the wrestling. But How about Sand Sharks over the weekend? Well, first, actually, let me say the show tonight presented by Mickelson Law Firm, the official or the original sponsor of Loco Sports, our all-star sponsor, and they can help you with all your legal needs. They're right here in Bluffton, and they've got you locked down. But they're our official real estate closing attorney, presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. But they love all the Loco teams and support everybody. That's why they support Loco Sports, because we're all about everybody. One Loco, baby. So thanks to Mickelson Law Firm. But yeah, let's talk Sand Sharks. Baseball, it is what it is, man. Number 4 in the country came in and they beat your butt, you know. But that first game was very interesting, and we saw some good things. But in women's basketball, it is what it is. They're banged up. They're fighting upstream. They probably should have won that game on Saturday against Clayton State, but they didn't. But on the bright side, let's talk about the bright side, because I'm in a good mood tonight. I don't want to go down a negative path. There's a lot of negativity in the world right now. Let's focus on the positive. So on the bright side, the softball team looked really good on the road, went 3-1, and they'll be coming home soon-ish. And then
This weekend, starting on
they're here this
Saturday.
weekend, right? Yeah, double. And then the basketball team, the men's basketball team, they looked really good. They put up 106, had 6 in double figures, and they were ready for a big one here in the Cove on Wednesday against Lander.
Yes. Yeah, I was impressed by that what the softball team was doing away from away from Hardyville, and we talked about it a little bit last night on the St. Shark Rewind, but Sierra Kinlaw, what a beast that she is out there. She means so much to that team by her production and just her efficiency out there, and they have some young ladies who can hit the long ball. Mackenzie Four, and then Addie Reynolds, who's one of the best catchers in the league right now in the Peach Belt, continuing to vault her name up the record books over there at USCB, adding a couple of adding a home run to her ledger, and she is one standout catcher and someone who can explode
Yeah.
getting noticed out there at the plate, and just an important player to have on that team. And then you have some outstanding outfielders as well, with players like Sirius Simmons and Tamai Whitlock, Darren Miller. That's a terrific group of outfielders right there, and I think they're going to be very competitive. And you look at how close they were to win a lot more games last season. I think if it breaks right, I think they have a real shot at excelling in that conference this year, and I'm very convinced from what they have already done. And for baseball, you went against one of the better teams in D2, so I mean you have to keep expectations in check when you're going up against a squad like that. But to see the compete, as we said last night in that first game, where they almost pulled out an incredible win, down 10 runs, and came back and scored 10 in one inning and tie it.
Yeah.
Just incredible fight back there, and I kind of think the new pieces are going to eventually really be big factors they have some power hitters they brought in. Some of the returners are going to be important with guys like Nico Andre, who I really hyped up yesterday. He's such an important fixture of that
Well, and I
offense.
love that he can play first, because
Yeah,
they have a glut
right.
of catchers, and that
They do.
helps if he can get time at first and actually play it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you'd love to have that kind of versatility, but I also like what I saw from guys like Luke Doty and Cooper
Yes.
McDaniel, and guys and Joe Turner, especially, who was a
Yeah.
two-way guy. He
Yeah.
was starting on the mound, and he was hammering some baseballs at the plate. So that's another guy to keep an eye on for potential two-way player. And then Jeremy Brown had a
Yep.
really nice swing, hit one out on Friday, and you
I
start to
love that
see.
he's an in-conference transfer from Columbus
Yeah,
State. I like
yeah, from
that.
Columbus
That's a
State.
good sign.
Love that. That's really
We're gonna
cool.
need to get those. I like it when you steal one from. That's like getting
Yeah.
2
Oh yeah,
I
players
of
was gonna
for
say,
one
course.
it
almost.
works out because one, you get to play for your team. Number two,
You
he's
don't
not
have to
on their
play against
team.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to replace him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that a lot, and it just shows that like people around the conference are taking notice. You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that's a good thing. Obviously, he didn't get a lot of at-bats there last year, but he saw something in this program that he thought that was where he could develop. So it's good to see. I mean, not a new blood. I'm eager for them to play somebody that's, you know, more on their level right now, because North Greenville was just stacked. Romer looked good. May River Kid looked really good though Friday night, so that was cool. But yeah, softball's looking good, and men's basketball, those guys are right in the thick of it. One game out of first in the Peach Belt, with a big one against
Awesome.
Lander coming on Wednesday, and then Georgia Southwestern coming in on Saturday night. So it's going to be a fun week for USCB men's basketball.
Really is.
Ready, you ready
Couple
to get
big
back there in the
games.
Cove?
Lander's going to be a good one. Yeah, it's going to be a back and forth kind of tight ball game, which I think they have a great chance of winning. Man, it seems like it's been a while since the last time we were at home, and the unfortunate circumstance that led to that tough loss. But now you get another opportunity coming off a win, a really nice performance at Clayton State. Can you build on that and play to that level that we've seen that they've competed at home? And so Georgia Southwestern is one they should win, but if you can get Lander as well, go 2-0 on this homestand, puts you in a great spot going forward. And the back half of the schedule, literally the last couple of games, it is going to be like a gauntlet.
Yeah.
Those last few
Yeah.
contests. You
What
got
you
the
hope
home and
is
home with
that you're
Aiken.
still in a position
Yeah,
where you can
yeah, but you
close
got
it
home and
out.
home with Aiken. Then you got Flagler, Columbus State, Augusta. No easy
Yeah.
one amongst those games.
No.
Those are all tough. Every single one
What
of
you
them.
got to do is
And then
take
before that,
care
you
of
get North
business
Georgia.
until then.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, which they're going to be
Absolutely.
out for blood.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a grind. They got to keep winning right now and keep themselves in a position where they basically control their own destiny at the end. And you would hope that maybe they can come out on top. It'd be unbelievable if they won a regular season title. But
Well,
a lot of work to be done yet. A lot of work to be done.
I think as long as you put yourself in position to compete in March for a conference championship,
Right.
then that's the goal. This is
And
a
did
team that
we
didn't qualify last year, and now looking pretty certain that they will be in this conference tournament, and not just that, but a chance to compete and do well in it. And you never know.
And did we
Let's-
determine, are there first round home games in the conference
Yes,
tournament, or is it all on one
I
side?
believe the top 4 teams will
Yeah.
host the first round games.
See, that would be dope.
Yeah.
That would be huge.
So
But before we go
that
further,
would be awesome.
we have a friend. Max Araj has arrived. What's up, buddy?
Hello, fellas. How are y'all doing?
Just talking
Max,
some
doing well.
Just talking some USCB basketball as we get ready
Yes.
for a big week ahead, Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah,
Indeed,
I'm very excited. Very, very impressive showing on this past Saturday against Clayton State. That's what you want to see from USCB, especially with the 2 tough losses they had against Columbus State and Flagler the week before. So
Yeah.
know,
Going back to conference tournament. So March the 5th, there will be quarterfinals hosted by all the higher seeds. So that'll be on Wednesday the 5th. Then the Saturday the 8th and Sunday the 9th will be the semis and the championship, which will be at the site of the highest remaining seed in the tournament. So that's what that will look like.
There's a chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that a home playoff game would be so fun. That would be
my God!
Highest remaining seed though. Can you imagine the conference championship game in the Cove?
Oh,
my God.
a lot has to happen before then, but
it does. But we can dream. We can dream. Yeah. So a couple other things on the high school hoops front. Saturday we had a couple of games. Trinity Collegiate sweeping HHCA, blowouts on both ends. I think HHCA used it all up against JP2 the other night, the boys.
Sounds about right.
And then JP2, the girls beat Wilson Hall handily, 65-36, but the boys fell 52-38.
Wow.
And they're now 4-4 in region and in 4th place, I believe.
That's a stunner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Holy smokes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked by that.
Yeah, they got smoked. And then tonight, HHCA
They
and
won
Patrick
tonight,
Henry
Yep, 71-58 for the boys, and I believe the girls lost by 10.
Patrick
37.
Henry won 37-27,
Yep.
11 and 9 rebounds, 5 steals for Lillian Lucas, 10.6 boards for Emily Stanley.
Yeah, we got that from Stricklander a
The
short time ago.
Stricklander.
Yes.
And yeah, well, he didn't send the final of that boys game.
I
He
got
just
it.
had Patrick
Don't
Henry
worry.
leading 34-30. No, I mean, he just didn't send us that
Yep.
one. Conveniently forgot to send us that one.
So it looks like Helmet Christian won that game 71-58. So they had a big turnaround in the second half against that Patrick Henry team, and
71-58.
they've won 2 games now in their last 5, I think. So it's showing that they're
Yeah.
improving a
I-
lot.
Oh, they're
I tell
definitely
you what,
improving.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with how they looked against JP2 the other night. They came out. I mean, that game, and I'm going to be saying this on Talk of the Town tomorrow. That game was pretty much neck and neck the entire way.
Yeah.
They gave
Yeah,
it
it was.
everything that they had, and a couple of guys, certainly including Jake Wood, really impressed me for HHCA. They're going to be fine in due time. It's going to take a little bit of time for both the girls and guys to get their footing as they retool and rebuild, but those guys, that's a huge win tonight, and they really impressed me on Thursday night at home.
Yeah. Here's my thing. If you're JP2, that's not the game you would want to have, especially against Hilton Christian. You got your front court is 2 guys at around 6'5". Clearly has the height advantage, clearly has the physical advantage. For it to be that close, I wouldn't be so much as worried about JP2. I would just say they need to tighten their grip when it comes to playing the basketball game.
I would agree with that. Coming off,
Yeah. Yeah, I
you
mean,
guys
they're
were just
right
talking
now
about
they're
this.
playing themselves into a tough seeding situation in the tournament. Is what they're doing. Because right now they're sitting 4th, and they're going to end up with the number 1 seed in the first round, and that's no fun. So they need to steal some back here. The guys try to chip away and climb back into 2nd or 3rd, which I think is doable. But I mean, they're getting up against it. They gotta finish out strong. I don't know how many games they have left in region offhand.
Can't be a whole lot.
Yeah, it can't be. You're right. It can't be a whole lot. Oh, geez, it's only 2.
weeks
They got
left.
Lawrence Manning and HHCA. That's it.
Okay,
So
They better
Lawrence
tighten their
Manning's
grip
in first
Gotta take
place.
them both.
So I don't even think if they took them both, Lawrence Manning's in first place. They can't catch them. They could catch Trinity, but Trinity swept them, right? So
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
they're going to finish 4th. So they're going to be in. I mean, and it's what we said early in the season. We were like, yeah, they're tough. They're good. They're much better. But in 4A, it's going to be tough, and that's just kind of where we are.
Yeah. And Lawrence Manning and Trinity Collegiate aren't even the best teams in 4A. That's what makes it even more scary going into the playoffs.
Right.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. You better hope the next time they play Christian Academy, which is on their home court, you better hope that they tighten their grip up the next time around, or else I would, at that point, be worried if it's another close game against Christian, and I hope it's not. And I'm not trying to say that to Hillman Christian Academy fans. I'm just saying the boys team is not where JP2's boys team is. I'm just saying this JP2 team should have won by more than they did in that game, and I expect them to do that in their next game against Hilton Christian, which is not far from now. So they need to tighten their grip, because if they do make the playoffs, and it almost looks like they will be, they're really gonna need to hone it in and figure out how to be efficient, how to be the best team they can possibly be. And I know they can be better than what that game showed. But if you're Hill Knight Christian, that's a great sign to see. They're starting to win more games as of late, which is really nice. And it shows this team is going to be, is going to get up there and get really good within the next couple seasons or so.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Texting. I'm being a shadow AD right now. Got to multitask to wear all the freaking hats I'm wearing right now. It's ridiculous.
Gotta do
But
what you gotta do, bro.
but yeah, a lot going on the hoops front tomorrow night. Tonight was slow night, but tomorrow night it's hot and heavy. You got Battery Creek at Hanahan, got Beaufort at Bishop England, Bluffton at Colleton, Hilton Head at May River, Barnwell at Hampton, Bridges at Edisto, Ridgeland at Bamberg, Hardyville at Allendale, John Paul at Lawrence Manning, Thomas Hayward at Cross, Hilton Head Prep at Colleton Prep, Andrew Jackson at Holy Trinity, and HHCA at Wilson Hall, plus Bethesda and Beaufort Academy boys, just for fun.
Do we happen to know where Javon's going to be tomorrow?
We can probably find out.
I was looking on
I
YouTube
have
trying to
not.
find out, and I
I did
couldn't.
not see.
Oh no, he
Last
doesn't.
night.
He doesn't have any
Anything queued up?
coming soon queued up yet. So I'm not sure where he'll be.
I know
Good
Friday at last check Friday he'll be not on the call with me, but he will also be calling. I'm figuring with Tristan the May River Beaufort game, so that's going to be 2 TV crews.
Hilton Head May River is the only one that makes sense Tuesday, unless he's going to Colleton. But I wouldn't.
I would tend to agree with you.
I mean,
We'll
going to
take
Colleton
the-
would make sense. Best gym in the
Yeah.
Loco, the Castle, and got a good one, especially on the boys' side. Bluffton. I mean, both are fairly competitive, but Bluffton, Colleton boys could be really good. So, I think maybe he'd be going to one of them places, but
Yeah,
he hasn't committed
I would agree.
publicly. But I do have some highlights from May River Wrestling to share at this time. So Sharks hosting the third round of the Class 4A duels tonight. It was getting it done. It was already 40-3, 40-6 shortly after I got there. There's another pin to make it 46-6. The dean of Low Country Wrestling officials, George Dixon, on the call. Best in the biz. Yeah. Take off your band so we can shake your hand and raise this man's hand. Congratulations, sir. And then he gets his love from the Sharks. Look at all them boys they got. Man, they got
a team, bro.
Army.
They got a team.
Small army. And I've got the scorebook from tonight, so I can tell you who some of these fellows are. This is Thomas Bro. He's tough.
Oh yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's on the football team too, isn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that's right. Fella that you saw getting the pin earlier was Darian. I don't know Darian's last name, but he was tough. Thomas was working this man over.
Yeah.
Got a little too high here, though. I was saying chest to chest. Chest to chest. You might hear me in the background. Ah, shoot, you got too high, bro. So then he got himself in a little bit of a pickle. But and Powell was like, gosh, dang it. And he looked like he might be in some trouble here, but able to get the escape. And nice single leg, doubles it off, climb up the body. Got that takedown right at the buzzer. Put him up 12-2. You get up by 15, it's a technical fall, so he was closing in. And new this year, you get 3 for a takedown instead of 2, and you can get up to 4 near fall instead of 3. So you can get 7 just for a takedown, which, look at this. This is a great move right here. Just back pressure into him and then turn into him. Tripod up. He's got his leg caught. That's messing him up. Get that leg out of there, buddy. Get that leg out so you can tee out. Got to get perpendicular to the man to really be able to pin him. It's hard to do it when you're parallel. So here we go. He's going to get that leg free. I got to get around the ref. Kick that leg out. Get it out of there. So you just can't get enough leverage from right there. But he gets the back points, and he's closing in on his tech fall. And then he's going to turn him one more time. Nice step over there. Really good. Thomas is solid. Gets his back points, and that's tech fall. Thomas broke. And then you get to see the hammer. The hammer. Blake Butler. Blake Butler is the real deal. He's wrestling 150 tonight, but I think he's down to 44 for individuals.
Wow.
And he is tough.
Wow.
Cool.
I mean, you're not seeing anything yet, but wait. He's going to get him. Here we go. We got a cradle. There we go. Just get your knee in his side. Get your knee. You're under him. Yeah, there we go. Get your knee in his side. There you go. Elevate it. Oh, it's so nice. So nice. There you go. Flatten him out. Squeeze. There it is. Blake Butler, #1 in the state.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah, he's a dude. Butler is ranked first in the state at 150. So I guess maybe he is staying at 150. He had been at 157 maybe and got down to 150, but that did it. 57-11 in favor of the Sharks. They got the dub. So I don't know who they face yet. Somebody knows out there, they can let us know. But we're on to the next one.
Yeah, only 2 more to go. They're on to the lower state championship game or championship match, which will be between either Hartsville or Aiken. Let me check and see if I can.
Yeah, I would bet on Hartsville. Aiken had they had an upset to get there. Hartsville's pretty good. But Hartsville.
Aiken won it. Aiken.
Really?
May River 45.
Oh, wait. Aiken is the 8th ranked team in the state. Gilbert was ranked 6th. So they must have finished second to Gilbert in that region.
Yeah, it'll be Aiken coming to the tank on Wednesday.
To the tank. Well, you got to like May River's chances there. And then I would guess it might be South Point on the other side of the bracket. But we'll see.
Looking like the favorites right now, that's for sure. South Point's good, though.
South Point will be. I mean, whoever wins the upper state will be. It'll be a tussle. It'll be a tussle.
Yeah. Yep.
Fountain Inn's real good too. So they were taking on South Point tonight, and then Travelers Rest was taking on Lawrence, and they're all tough. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the 4A ranking. So whoever comes out of that will be good enough to beat May River. That doesn't mean they'll beat them, but they'll be good enough to beat them if everything goes their way and they win the flip and all that. So winning the flip's important. Something little inside baseball with wrestling here. Winning the flip is extremely important. Before the duel starts, the captains go out and they flip a coin just like every other sport, right? And what is at stake is evens or odds. Who sends first on the odd matches and the even matches. So who has to send their wrestler to check in first and declare that he's wrestling that weight, and then the other team can, after seeing that, make a strategic decision about who they send. And at this level, it matters because you've got teams that have multiple guys who can wrestle at each weight, so they can get creative and bump people around to get advantageous matchups. So, but you can also get too cute with it and mess yourself up. So, you usually have an idea of one match as a coach that we need to know who they send there. And if we know that, that's going to inform our strategy. So wherever that falls in the lineup, you either want to make them send on evens or odds. It's a fun little inside strategy thing about wrestling.
I'm starting to love this sport more and more. The more
there's so much strategy that goes involved with it. Yeah.
It's an amazing sport. There's a learning curve to come to understand it and appreciate it. But once you navigate that, man, it is an awesome sport. It truly is. It's phenomenal. Some people can't get past, the dudes wrestling around part. Never gave it 2 thoughts. It's just 2 dudes fighting, man. It's just 2 dudes fighting. Yeah. Like, that's all it is. It's a great sport. You got to come out and check it out. So anyway, that's wrestling for tonight. You guys got? I'm running out of stuff to talk about. What do you got?
I got something for you guys. Being that baseball is pretty much officially started throughout the high school area, well, it is started for the rec level as well.
Mm.
The reason I was late tonight
Oh
is because
yeah.
I was running baseball evals, so tryouts
Oh yeah.
All right.
today at Burton Wells. So that's why I showed up late. Had baseball evals tonight. I got softball evals tomorrow, and then I got more baseball evals come Thursday as well. So I'm very excited that baseball is back. I'm also going to be helping out with the Hardyville High School boys team, varsity baseball team, which I'm very excited for, especially because of our head coach now, Mr.
Yep.
Eamon Collins. I'm very excited. That dude is absolutely what this program needs, and so I'm very excited to be working with him this season.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be fun.
Great stuff.
And I think I just found my pitching coach. So life is good
Did
in the
you?
Ville.
All right.
I
Nice.
think so. I think so. Baseball doesn't need a pitching coach. He's built in. But you know, he was a catcher before he was a pitcher. So
Mm.
yeah, he's a ball player all around, and he's building a field too. So
I feel like that's the trend. If you can't make it as a catcher, go for a pitcher if you have the arm for it. I mean,
yeah,
look, there are players at the
Yeah.
pro level who have done that. Like Kenley Jansen is one that
lots
comes
of
to
them.
mind.
Yep.
You know,
Carlos
Kenley Jansen
Marmol.
was a catcher, like made himself known as a catcher for the Netherlands during the World Baseball Classic, and then next thing you know, he made the switch over from being a catcher
Yep.
to a pitcher, and the rest is history. And he became one of
Yep.
the top closers in baseball for almost over a decade.
You know, that happens with a lot of prospects too. They come
Yeah.
up as catchers, shortstops, whatever, and for whatever reason, the arm doesn't play as well in the field. But they're like, "Hey, how about throwing it downhill from 60 feet?" And they're like, "Ooh, that looks nice," and that becomes their ticket. Or maybe they can't hit. You know, sometimes they don't hit, and that's when they become pitchers.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, when you got tools, and they'll find a way to get it out of you. And that's what we're hoping for in the Ville. I mean, we got a lot of inexperienced kids, but they're toolsy. I mean, they've got tools, and we just got to train them up. It's as I keep telling them, it's not your job to know how to play. It's my job to teach you how to play. So
Right.
you got to show up for that to happen. So we're going to try to get more kids out there tomorrow. That's the plan. But yeah, they're going across the Lowco now. Spring sports in full swing, practicing, scrimmages coming soon, competitions not long after, and it's gonna get real hectic and real fun. So
Dicey.
what else you boys got? Anything?
I'm just looking forward to, tomorrow and Friday specifically with hoops. Obviously, that's what I'm looking at first and foremost with my schedule, and just talking to some folks, today and in the last couple of days, just about 6-4A primarily, because that's what I'm going to see the most of and
Right.
what I have seen the most
Yeah.
of. Every day things can change, as we've talked about in that region. So I'm really looking forward to seeing and calling May River, Beaufort. I was really impressed last week, especially with that girls team when I saw them against Bluffton. And then we'll see Hilton Head as well, and you can never count either one of those teams out for
Yeah.
anything. So just really looking forward to the next 10 days. Again, 6 games from now until next Thursday. 6 games that Kevin and Larry and yours truly and a few other folks will be involved in the next week and a
Can't
half.
wait.
It's gonna
Can't
be
wait for
nuts.
Marcus Walsh calling some more high school basketball. Love it.
Gonna be nuts, and
Love
I
it.
can't wait to watch back the game whenever it gets to our airwaves. Watch back the game that you and I did the other night.
Yeah.
Whenever I can get it on Roku, watch back the matchup. I should say
Yeah.
both games.
Speaking of calling basketball games, Marcus, I love how you called a close game for the North Carolina Duke game.
Yeah,
That was not
it's
fun.
just it's so many of those games, and of course I had my eyes and ears locked on that thing. So many of those games, no matter what the circumstances with those two teams, you figure it's going to be tight because it's a
Yeah.
rivalry, and you just throw everything out the window.
Yeah, I had a
And
weird.
you
I had a
expect
weird
that,
feeling. I had a
but
weird feeling going into that.
you
game
were right.
It's not going to be close because let's
17-point
be honest,
final score, and it wasn't even that close.
yeah, let's be honest. North Carolina straight up sucks this year. They're 13 and 10.
they're
They may not make the tournament.
They're trash.
Oh,
They're horrible.
May
they'd
not
have
make
to
the
do
tournament.
something. They'd have to do something special to make the tournament.
Yeah.
I think they're way off the bubble
And
right now.
meanwhile, Duke
They need to win the ACC.
can get-
to be honest, that's
can
what
get
they
to
need
San
do.
Antonio.
There's no other
Oh
way.
yeah, Duke's legit.
Duke is legit. Auburn is legit too. I watched Auburn the other night. Holy cow, is that team something else?
They're special.
They
Yeah,
are really
they
good.
are.
Somehow Clemson didn't make the top 25 in the AP poll this week, but they sat at 21 today in the coaches poll. I don't know how. Clemson was literally 2 votes short of making the top 25 in the AP poll. I don't know how. That team is too good to not be in there, and they're also second in the ACC right now in terms of conference standings. So I'm
Duke plays them at Clemson on Saturday
right. And
at
guess
6
who else they're
p.m. That would
playing?
be a great one.
Guess who else they're playing come Monday next week? They're playing North Carolina and Duke in back-to-back games at home. So that should be
Clemson is. That's right.
That should be very, very interesting. Who else do they have? I believe they have Georgia Tech tomorrow night. So we'll see how they do. If they can win 2 out of those 3 games, I don't think they're going to beat Duke. I think if they win against Georgia Tech and North Carolina, I have a feeling that they're going to be in the rankings come this time next week.
Tennessee's another team to keep an eye on. They look really good
They
at
had
what they've been able to do.
How about Mizzou?
Win.
Number 15, baby.
Mizzou has shocked me this year. They're playing great basketball. But that
Michigan
I don't know.
State seems to be playing well in the Big Ten.
I think, Marcus, you were watching the same as I was, that Auburn-Tennessee game last week. Incredible game.
Oh, my gosh, I know it.
Incredible game. One of the teams I'm a bit disappointed by right now is Kentucky. They lost again the other night.
How about Arkansas? Holy crap.
Dude, yes, Hubert Davis should be on the hot seat, I think.
No doubt.
Oh, he's more than just on the hot seat. If it's a hot seat, that hot seat is
I think it's an ejector seat.
Yeah, at this point, like with that loss to the Duke, I just have a feeling that hot seat is really Hell's Gate because it's hot. It's really hot.
Yeah, you were starting to talk about Arkansas. I can't believe Calipari went in there and won, man. I can't believe
that is something.
Dude, they booed him too.
He's just so petty and spiteful that he somehow managed to win that game when he can't win any others. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
Wild.
I think at the moment he's trying to build that Arkansas program. I think it's going to take him time, especially with how that SEC has been this year. That conference is just unreal. And it's unreal enough that Kentucky has lost, like, I think three of the last 5 games that they have played.
We're gonna talk about Carolina. We're gonna talk about South Carolina. 0-9 in the SEC.
Oh
no. Can I be honest? I feel as if Nick Pringle should have stayed at Alabama.
I don't know what his role was going to be there, but
I think even if he was like that 6th man coming off the bench, because I think he had a good enough.
I think the problem was he was about 1 or 2 more times of being suspended away from just being gone. You know, like I don't know. He was suspended multiple times last year. I just think the relationship there was strained enough that there was a little bit of hesitation, you know, about what's my role going to be and how easily could it get squeezed out. And this is my last chance to make a showing for the NBA. And, you know, like, so I don't question his decision at all. I think it was the right decision at the time. He got a nice NIL package from South Carolina, and you know, and he's playing closer to home. His family can see him. He's putting up 9.2 points and 6.4 boards. They're not winning, but you know, he's having a productive year. And
I want to see him. I want to see him succeed. And I feel bad because that South Carolina team they're in probably the toughest. Well, actually, they are the toughest conference in basketball this year. The toughest. And this is going to show how tough it is. Speaking of Alabama,
we got 9 9 top 25 teams in the SEC
Yeah.
right now.
You want to
Ouch.
talk how big this is? This is Alabama's remaining schedule. They're on the road at Arkansas on Saturday. Next Tuesday, they're at Texas. Then it gets interesting. February 15th, they're at home against number 1 Auburn.
Auburn,
Then
yeah.
they go on the road to 15 Missouri.
Ooh.
Then they're at home against 14 Kentucky. Then they're at home against number 22 Mississippi State. Then they play number 4 Tennessee, number 6 Florida, and to finish off the season, they are at number 1 Auburn.
Oh,
Jeez.
man.
Number
That's a tough
14
schedule.
Kentucky. Number
That's the
14
SEC.
Kentucky, by the way, is 4-4 and tied for 8th in the SEC,
Yes,
and then
that's
14th in the
literally-
country.
This conference, man. If you want to talk about
It's
the
unreal.
Peach Bowl Conference of Division 1, there it is for you. I mean,
Right.
seriously, all these teams closely together, all very, very good basketball
It's
teams,
crazy.
and all just battling it out for the top spot.
And the
I
Gamecocks are
can't-
Clayton State down there fighting for a dub.
And
Can I just be honest, though? That SEC tournament, when it comes around, starting in March, is going to be unbelievable.
oh
to
yeah,
watch.
it's going to be phenomenal.
Upsets that could be coming from that tournament is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
cannot wait for that.
Speaking of upsets, great segue there, Max. How about
Yeah, yeah.
Kansas and Iowa State both going down as
Yes, they
well
did.
in
Yeah,
I love them.
huge
you know-
Kansas
fashion?
losers.
They both got their doors beat in.
Yeah, wait, who is Kansas playing?
Man, they played Baylor. They had a huge lead,
Baylor.
and they
Yeah,
just gave it
that's
up.
Right. That's right. Yeah, they were
They
up
just
by
got
like,
their
what
doors
were they up
beat in
by,
in the
like
second half.
15 or something like
Yeah.
that. Weren't they up by like 15 or
least.
something like that? At least.
Yeah,
15.
at least. And I
Yeah,
think the same thing
that was a
happened
big game.
with the matchup between Iowa State and Kansas State, and Kansas State beat them by like
Yeah.
20.
Yeah, that's insane.
Wild
Yeah.
stuff.
I love college basketball. God, I want
Me
March
too.
Madness to come so
Oh,
bad. Right
I
now.
love it.
It's so
Uh,
close yet so far away. Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Selection Sunday is like just like what 6 weeks away. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it
They're
is.
about.
Yes, it is. I'm so excited. Yeah, that SEC tournament is going to be insane. I have a feeling the ACC tournament is going to be interesting. You know what's crazy is I was looking through that while I was sitting in Justin's classroom this morning at Hardyville, and I was looking at the standings, and what shocked me is Miami, who, if I'm not mistaken, went to the Final Four not too long ago.
A couple
Or
of
at
years
least
ago.
had an appearance in the Final Four.
Or maybe it was the Elite Eight a couple of years
It
ago.
may have been the Elite Eight. I don't know. I have a feeling they went. No, it was Final Four because weren't they? Did they not play Florida Atlantic? at one
That's
point
right.
in the
They,
Final Four.
I think they did.
Florida Atlantic's Final Four run. Yeah, because Florida Atlantic made it to the national championship game and then played San Diego State. I remember that.
Right. Yeah.
Crazy thing is, they're sitting dead last in the ACC this year.
Yeah, Larinaga's gone.
Yeah,
It's not your
unreal.
brother's Miami team.
No, it's not.
Mhm.
I just look at some of the
Oof.
stuff.
Kansas is whumping them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, they're playing each other right now. Oh,
Game's
wow.
going on right now on ESPN.
Wow. Yeah, Kansas needs to figure some things out, but I see that they are right now.
I'd prefer they didn't.
Right.
Well, I know you prefer it, but a lot of other people don't prefer it. I also have
Down
to
with
support
Kansas.
Kansas to a certain degree now, being that I have a family member doing athletics at Kansas. I got to support her, which means I have to support them to a certain
You have a
degree.
family member at Kansas?
I do. She's going to, well, she has not graduated yet, but she is committed to Kansas to do rowing at Kansas.
Oh.
Starting, I believe.
Well,
next
I
fall.
have affinity for one program at Kansas, and that is the softball team because my girl Laura Heberling, former USCB
Right.
coach,
Oh yeah.
is the pitching coach there, and I love her to pieces. So I'm okay with the Jayhawks beating anybody other than Mizzou in softball, but that's the
Yeah, that's
only
fine.
sport. Otherwise, I want them to lose at everything.
I mean, their men's baseball team sucks, so I guess you can live and breathe on that.
I mean, I don't care about them as much anymore since we're in the SEC. But I used to.
I mean, this is how bad
it was-
Kansas This
It
is
was
how
a
bad
great,
Kansas baseball.
great rivalry.
Ah,
Yeah,
the
A ton of
best.
sports.
Kansas baseball came to Charleston. I think it was a couple seasons ago, or maybe it was last
And
season.
they're poor.
And they lost to both Charleston Southern, who's not that great at baseball, in the Big South Conference,
Yeah, they're middling.
and they lost to the Citadel, which Citadel
Yeah.
has a strong baseball program. So
Yeah, but neither one of them is like a powerhouse right now.
no.
But yeah, Kansas is bad. Kansas is bad.
Kansas is really bad. But you
College
can
of
live that,
Charleston's pretty good
huh?
sometimes. College of Charleston's pretty good
College-
from time to time.
People are asking. People are saying because they got snubbed last year. I thought they were
Yeah.
going to make the tournament.
I
They
did
think
too.
they're one of the favorites out of that non-power four, teams. They're one of the favorites to make the tournament this year because they didn't lose many players. I think they lost 3 seniors from that team,
Nice.
so they were on the younger side. So they're going to be good.
College baseball's here, boys. We
God
look out.
damn.
We look
Yeah,
out the
well
window
said.
all winter and wait for spring, and here
You
we
can
are.
tell by the smile on my face that I love
Right.
this.
It's so great. It's so great to have it back in our lives.
Uh,
It just the sunlight, the clay.
Well,
God,
don't
grass.
enjoy it while you can because I heard that it's getting back into the 30s next week.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Is this like when Bracken heard it was going to snow again?
No, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to drop.
I will check right now. And
I think it's going to be in the 60s and 70s for
I think
good.
It's really
gonna
nice
get-
until
Bit here.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then it's going to rain. But it's not.
Yeah,
gonna be
no, it's not going to get in the 30s. No, it's not going to be that
But it's
cold.
going to rain a lot next week. That's going to be a bummer.
Well, my mom lied to me then. All right, that's great.
I mean, there's a low in the 40s. A couple.
Yeah, low in the 40s, but
Yeah,
we're
Lows
then
in the
we're good.
30s and 40s.
Oh.
That's something.
By
Lows
the
in
way,
the 30s is nothing. As long as it gets
Yeah.
up to 60 in the afternoon, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'll be a
true.
happy man.
I started
But,
getting cold out there tonight. I'm telling you.
Yeah, once the sun
It
goes
was-
down,
It was
gets
cooling off.
chilly.
Yeah.
It's like
Especially
Candlestick
when-
Park.
Especially
yeah,
when I'm
it's
trying to
it's
stay
going to be this
warm, hitting
weekend.
baseballs
This
to kids.
weekend though, it is going to
It's
be
Scorcher.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
gonna be great.
I have to
Scorcher.
break out to shorts.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
gonna try to
breaking
get
out.
some of my Hardyville girls to go out to the USCB game and cheer them on. That'd be
Yes.
fun.
Dude, I'll get some of the boys' team to go watch that USCB team play. I'll get
Yeah.
them to do it.
That'd be fun.
Eamon will get him to do it. I know Eamon.
We are.
Will get him.
Yeah,
to do
that's true. Yeah, he'll bring them. He can take them on a
Alright.
field trip.
Yeah.
Let's bring it in for a landing, boys. We welcome back Hudson Seafood House on the docks for another
Yes,
season
sir.
on the Lowco Booster Club. We appreciate you. It's a great spot for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. Beautiful place. A Hilton Head icon, indeed. Presenting sponsor of Under the Bus as well. New episode aired Wednesday night, and we'll have another one coming at you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Under the Bus, because we got USCB Hoops on Wednesday. Also showing love for Base Hit Life, our baseball and softball themed apparel sponsor. Live your best base hit life at basehitlife.com. You know, you gotta get the gear for the season. They got all kinds of cool styles to show off your game. Basehitlife.com. Dr. Ambrose Cole, our official chiropractor. Find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club, official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind, and a big reason for all the success for our Lowco wrestling teams tonight. May River and Bridges Prep going on to the lower state finals. And Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. That's where Tony O'Banner gets it lined up.
Yes, sir.
Go check it out. And one time B&A too. Yeah, that's our sponsors. We got a region basketball tournament on Saturday at Hilton Head Christian Academy as well. I heard they were doing this. They're doing a region tournament.
Okay.
Would that be JV? I would think
That would be
JV.
the Hilton Head Christian, JP, all them. A region tournament. I heard that was happening. I think
Wait,
SCHISA
for
is
the
maybe.
varsity level or for the JV level?
I believe that's for the varsity. I think they're bringing
Really?
back the region tournament playing into
Oh, yes.
Nice.
which would
I
be,
like that.
yeah,
I like
that'd be
that.
cool. I like it.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
interesting.
yeah, they used to do that years ago. and
Well,
then
we
got
had
away
it
from
one year at the high school league level because of COVID.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. I remember the days when they had the Rhett Thomas Memorial Tournament
Oh,
every
I
year.
loved it.
Oh,
Great
God, was
tournament.
it fun. I remember those days. I want
So how does that work in terms of the formatting with the region tournament? Does that go into the
the
seeding for
championship.
the
no,
SCISA tournament?
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know. I don't.
I wouldn't think so.
Here
But
we're back at our familiar trope. Does anybody know what SCHISA's doing?
No.
No, we
no.
don't.
Well,
They're having a region tournament. Does it have
Sometimes
anything to
even
do with the state
Stricklander.
playoffs? I have no idea.
Uh,
Does anyone know?
Sometimes even
Um,
the Skeezer Stricklander has no idea
yeah.
what's going on
Is
with them.
everybody having a region tournament, or is just our region having a tournament?
But
Like what? Nobody knows.
I think there is something other than Loco Sports that's pretty big to talk about that happened over the weekend. So I'll bring it in starting with this on February 1st, 2008. The Lakers traded for Paul Gasol. 17 years later, they do another blockbuster move to the day.
Crazy trade.
Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris have been sent to the Los Angeles Lakers. The Dallas Mavericks get ready for this.
AD.
wow.
Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick.
I mean, this
Like,
is
could you not think of a more one?
and the fact that I remember like people look on Twitter and like like they thought that account was a fake. Like they didn't believe it that trade was real.
bunch of
And
people
so,
are like, "Is
yeah.
this really happening?"
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just bizarre, especially when it comes like at midnight, and so it's
Well, I had to post it on the group chat. Marcus got a little mad at me, and I apologize, Marcus, but I had to post
It's all right.
I had to post
I
it
was
on
just
the group
like,
chat. I had to post it
I
on
thought-
the group chat. I
I
was like, this
figured it
is
was
not
going
a
to be
drill.
Larry texting me something basketball related at 1:15 in the morning. I get up, I'm like, "What's this?"
Yeah, you gotta mute that stuff, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, I
will.
I was so like, just shocked. But I realized what it was about for two reasons. The first reason is he has not been able to stay fit and healthy.
Right.
And that's been a big issue, I think, for the Dallas Mavericks. But even then,
Yeah.
he's the face of your franchise. Like, what are you doing? He is the future of the Dallas Mavericks, and they should have been able to win a finals with him eventually.
No
You
doubt.
know? Here's the second reason. Here's the second reason for me. Marcus may or may not like this one. Kyrie Irving. We know he's had issues with multiple teams and other players on his own team. We know that's been an issue with him, and I just have a strange suspicion that had something to do with it as well.
Well, I think Kyrie, from what I hear, and I haven't paid nearly as much attention to the NBA this year as I typically do, it seems like Kyrie's doing really well this year.
Yep.
So
He's had a good year.
if his success may have created something,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, he and Doncic never really made that much sense together because they both need to be on the ball so much.
They're playmakers.
And that's true.
They're both playmakers.
Yeah, like they're
Yeah.
both at their best when they're on the ball. So
Right.
I think I don't think it's a terrible, like it's a weird trade, like it's a wild trade. It's crazy to think that they would trade Doncic, but then when you actually
Yeah.
look at it, like it's one of those trades that maybe makes both teams better. Although
I'm just gonna-
Doncic
Yeah.
Doncic and LeBron are very similar players in
Yeah.
as far as like what they do.
What they do, right?
But they've played
you
with
know,
each other before.
They're both like the point forward guy who
Yeah.
likes to ISO and can shoot the three or back you down. Like, so it's going to be interesting to see how they use them. Do they almost kind of like platoon them?
But I think we
so
know
you've
why.
always
I
got
think
one of
we
them
know
on the
why this-
floor,
Yeah.
or how
But
are they going to use them?
I think the reason the Lakers tried to, well, basically the story behind it is the Mavs were offering Doncic to the Lakers.
Yeah, they reached out.
They reached out. And so now the Lakers have the future of their franchise, hopefully, if he can stay
Yeah.
healthy.
They just got to convince him to keep his beach bod, and he'll be good to go.
Yeah,
keep him,
right.
Keep him under $3 bills, and you'll be ready to go.
Yeah, them ankles can't handle $3 bills.
Yeah,
Soon.
I saw the picture of him, and I couldn't
He's
believe
beefy.
it.
He's Jared Lorenzen beefy.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
I
I have a parting thought, which is
Yeah,
more
please.
Wow.
locally based. I know you could go to any sports talk show and they'll give you their opinions on
That's right.
this trade for sure. But I want to keep it local with mine. Not particularly in the South Carolina Low Country, but in the state of South Carolina, because Oceanside Collegiate has a new football coach, Brent LaPrade, who has been with the program
Oh,
for a bit. He was with the coaching staff the last 2 years, and he was a big part of the Oceanside success. He was the coordinator, and now he is the head coach of the Sand Sharks. So, it looks like it's going to be a solid hire for an Oceanside team that has continued to thrive, whatever level they've been playing the last couple of years. And it was
Yeah.
important that state championship they knocked off Hampton County a few years ago, and I think it says something about his resume and what he's done over there, and certainly deserves an opportunity to be part of that squad as a head coach. So he has some football experience back in the day. I think he was with the NC State football program as one reason.
LaPrade, you said, right? I assume he's relation to LaPrade, who was the coach at Fort D forever and ever.
That's
Steve
what I
LaPrade.
mean, because that last name sounded familiar.
Yeah.
I wonder if there was a relation there. Yeah.
I don't know. I have another question regarding this. Where did the former head coach end up going?
Well, I heard some things. He resigned mid-season. He just
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I totally
There-
forgot about that.
there were some rumors, but we don't need to repeat them on here.
Okay,
I don't
I
need
wasn't
any
sure. I
lawsuits.
couldn't remember.
But
I
he
couldn't
resigned mid-season, and
Yeah, I couldn't remember what happened, so I thought I just had to ask.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Top 4 teams play at this region tournament, and the 2 winners qualify for the state tournament. So JP2 gets a chance to play its way in, basically,
wow.
if they're the 4, they'd play the 1, I assume, and the 2 and
What's
3 play each other.
It's at Hillhead Christian, but Hillhead Christian is in the top 4 teams, so I assume they're not playing in this tournament.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
That is funny.
That's strange.
So all of them are traveling to Hilton Head Christian, but yet Hilton Head
That's-
Christian's not playing.
That is
That's wild.
that
That's
is
SCHSL
the most
athletics.
SCHSL thing I've
get
ever
it.
heard.
That's the most SCHSL
That is the
crap
most
I've
SCHSL
ever
thing
heard.
I've ever heard.
That's
That
Strictly
takes
there
the
must
cake
be
right there.
laughing hearing this.
So
He's
I was
really
about to give them credit because this is better than those silly early round games where they're played in like the B gym at Wilson Hall
Or the
and at
Sumter.
1 o'clock in the afternoon and nobody's there. Like, but it's not much better if they're played on
No,
the side of a
it's
team
not.
that's not even in the tournament.
Can I just say though, when are they going to move out of Sumter? That gym is like so bad,
Yeah, I
horrible.
know. It's better suited
need
for
to-
like a
Why can't they
rodeo
do
or
it
a
at like
tractor pull.
they'll never do it at Colonial. Oh man. It's so
Just
bad.
saying.
That
Hey,
court
It
is-
feels like
good
a-
memories
um,
made in that gym.
Yeah, but it feels like you're in like a rodeo ground or
Yes,
something,
you
or a
are. I'm
slaughterhouse. I
pretty
don't
sure
know.
they have hosted rodeos in
Weird.
there before.
Well, like at least like
Sure.
fairs, like where you put up stalls and you bring in your livestock
It looks like
fairs
it
or
looks
something.
like a
Like,
college. It
there's
looks
no
like a
question.
college. It basically looks like a small level college basketball gym that hasn't been renovated in like 50
It
years.
looks to
the 80s.
me.
Yeah.
It looks to me like a whatchamacallit. Okay, so it was decided earlier in the season where to play the tournament. I guess they like the gym at Hilton Head Christian. Maybe they all want to come down to
Nice
Hilton Head for the
gym.
weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
Go to the beach.
Poor HHCA.
But yeah, no, the
They're not
Sumter
welcome.
Civic Center looks to me like the kind of place where they hold a livestock auction every weekend, except for the weekend that they roll a basketball court out there. That's what it looks like to me.
For a
But-
fact, being that it's Sumter, they got an ammunitions convention
Oh,
going
there's
on
gun
there.
shows there on the regular, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. No doubt about it. But here's a parting thought, local as well. I saw a commitment today. One of the big legs in the Loco, Ethan
right.
Cartmel from Bluffton, committed to Presbyterian College. So
Good for him.
best wishes to him. What's
It's
that? The
awesome.
And,
Frontier,
big-
Frontier
big-
League? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so. D2.
And by the way, coming up on Wednesdays, National Signing Day. So
Yep.
big day upcoming nationwide, but
interested to
here in the
see-
Lowco as well.
Yeah. Speaking of kickers, I'm still waiting to see where oh Lord, I forgot
He's
his
not a
name.
kicker.
I feel so bad.
Ian Kelly.
Yes, Ian. Thank you, Ian Kelly.
Yep.
I knew that's where you were going.
I'm intrigued to see what he does because
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything in terms of what schools are potentially looking at him. But now that this transfer portal thing is what it is, it's getting more and more difficult for kickers to be recruited. Like you got to be like insanely good at kicking a football, or else you're gonna have a hard time finding a college. You know. But Ian Kelly is one of the best kickers in this area, like by a country mile. Like,
yeah.
By a country
He's
mile.
got a special leg.
He's
Yeah.
special, and I just hope
Might be made of titanium.
I just want to see a D1 program give him the chance. You
He's
know,
a
that's what I
good
wanna see.
kid too, man.
He's a great kid.
He is. He's awesome.
He's such a great kid, and he has
He's
a very heartening,
Touching story.
very encouraging story.
Yes.
And I wish any D1 college would look at him, his story, and how good of a football player and football kicker he is. And I
He's
wish
got the work ethic.
He's got better believe it. He's improved so much over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to see where he ends up going. So yeah.
All right, I got one more parting thought here. You're gonna love it, Marcus. Our boy Red Bruin tonight.
I was just gonna say
Bluffton Mustangs champs. Sorry to snake you. Sorry
Congrats,
to snake you.
Red.
Bluffton Mustangs.
Awesome stuff.
Take the middle school title tonight.
Fantastic.
Middle school
Very
champs
nice.
for Beaufort
Terrific.
County. There's Coach Red.
Boy,
Love that
Red.
man. That's a good man right there.
Yes,
Good
indeed.
man. There he
Good
is.
man.
Yes.
Syracuse
Looking
fans
good with that
rejoice.
trophy, Red.
The Stangs
Looking
got
good.
one. Yeah, man. Love to see it.
One shiny moment, indeed.
One shining moment.
Uh,
Soon enough, boys. Soon enough. Well, anything else, or is that going to do it for tonight?
that's all for me. Unless
That's
you
it.
guys-
That's a wrap, boys. Great show tonight. Thanks to everybody who was a part of it, whether you hit us in the comments, showed up to listen or watch, or if you're a sponsor. We appreciate all of our sponsors, especially the OGs, Mickelson Law Firm. We are looking for more sponsors to keep this thing going because, honestly, we need support to keep it going. We do have expenses. We have bills to pay, and we need sponsorship. If your kids aren't in high school yet, they will be soon, and you want this to be around when they get there, I promise. So get in touch with us, get that sponsorship going, and help us keep shining a light on teams and athletes who rep the Lowco and make us proud, so we can let everybody know what's happening down here on the Lowco sports scene. So for Wes Kerr, Max Araj, and Marcus Walsh, I'm Justin Jarrett. We'll see you tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. Till then, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.